But dude, they're pretty much the same structure. Like, we'll keep it super chill. Biggest things are like, what was different before you joined AHG? Talk about your experience now. A lot of people want to know, like, you know, like for people that are skeptical about investing, all that sort of stuff. So we'll just rap about a bunch of stuff, bro.
We'll set them straight.
You know it, bro.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's see here. I think we might be live, bro. Let's see. Boom. What's up, guys? Let's see. I want to make sure we're live. I'm going to check in the group. I think we're live, but let's double check. Guys, if you're watching us live, first of all, thank you for hopping on. Welcome. Yes, we are live. Let's go. Guys, today I'm going to be interviewing one of our amazing clients. His name is Cory Utech. I think that's how you pronounce your last name.
You got it. Yep.
Beautiful. And guys, Cory's been a private client of Agency Hypergrowth for quite some time now. He started off in our main coaching program, Agency Hypergrowth. Then he moved on to working with us on a more one-to-one, super close capacity inside our sort of higher tier program for agencies called Elite. He's been to one of our live events. So the dude's an OG. And guys, he is on a tear right now. He's grown his agency to over 6 figures. He's done almost 17 grand, I think, in this month, cash collected, which is awesome. So guys, on this interview, Cory's just going to dive right into it. So dude, why don't you just kind of take the mic and, you go as deep as you want, man. Like, tell people your story and anything you want to share. We'll start with that rather.
Dude, absolutely. Yeah. 17K this month, almost, thanks to yourself, Aaron, Brian. I know Brian and Karan, they helped me a lot too, but man, you guys have been like your shirt, man. I'm super grateful, honestly, bro. Like, starting out, like, definitely, my ego was getting in the way of thinking like, I can figure this stuff out. And could I eventually have probably figured it out, like, by just throwing enough stuff at the wall? Yeah. But I mean, it's called agency hypergrowth for a reason. You know what I mean, bro? Like, just, you guys literally, I mean, that's what you guys help us do, is like literally cut that time down so much. And, things are happening, and obviously the regular group gaining some momentum. And then once you join Elite, it's just like the time is cut again in half. You know what I mean? So that's been my experience so far, bro. Like, I mean, as I'm a college dropout. Like, I was going to school for, computer science, doing all the coding, learning all that stuff. And, I would have had like a good paying job, bro, like, 70K fresh out of school. But I just looked down the line, man, and I realized pretty quickly, I would be miserable, and it's nothing against anybody who does that stuff. It's just, I knew my personality. Like, I can't be at one place for too long. I can't, I need to be talking to people. I need to be meeting new people, traveling places. I need to be able to travel, just really have a lot more freedom, in that kind of lifestyle. And I weighed a lot of options, bro. Like, I literally remember like looking at a piece of paper and having like 4 different options. One was like, being a personal trainer. You're into fitness just like me, and then like the other was like, okay, a really like entrepreneurship route. My dad, he actually owns a marketing agency as well. Definitely more of like a, traditional route where he, helps, pretty big companies sell products and stuff like that. He works with a lot of radio manufacturers, stuff like that. But, I kind of saw what he was able to do, and I was like, hey man, in some way, shape or form, I can kind of duplicate that in the modern world, and just looking at options, I started doing web design, just cranking out websites, stuff like that, just because I kind of had that computer coding background. But pretty quickly realized, like, as I'm sure most of us do, the ceiling with that, I mean, is only so high. You know what I mean? We got to somehow transition into, more of this like passive model where we can have that, recurring revenue coming in. So I started doing some research, man. And actually, Karan, saying Javi, he reached out to me. This is the craziest story, bro. He reached out to me when I was doing web design on LinkedIn for the referral partnerships that you guys have us do. And we had a referral partnership when I was a web designer. and when he was
Crazy.
running his agency. And then I just kept seeing him posting all these results that you guys were getting for people. There was one guy in specific. He signed like I think it was like a $4,500 deal, and I immediately messaged Kron. I was like, dude, tell me more about this. And the rest is pretty much history. That's how I ended up here with you guys, which is just
Crazy,
so
dude.
crazy looking back on. Yeah, the way the universe like connects people and makes stuff happen, like it's insane. Again, bro, I'm grateful that somehow this, you know, this happened. It ended up with you guys. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
man. Yeah, I really appreciate that, dude. Um, Guys, so again, if you're just watching, I'm interviewing one of our amazing private clients in agency hypergrowth. His name is Cory Utek. And guys, he's going to be talking about his journey as an agency owner, as a client of ours, and how he scaled his agency to at this month or at this point doing 17 grand cash collected this month. And the month's not even over yet, dude. So we don't know what's going to happen.
Never know, bro.
You
Yep, got
never
a
know,
few more
dude.
in the
Like
pipeline.
100%, man. So cool. Talk to everybody about what you were doing before you became a client of Agency Hypergrowth to try and grow your agency. What were the things you were doing? What were some of the struggles you were facing?
Oh man, this is hilarious. Um, dude, I literally had I told Karan this. I had a 6-person independent sales rep team. So I literally had like 6 of my buddies just like sending out emails, sending out, just the most random, again, just literally throwing stuff at the wall. That was probably the most hilarious thing because they're like looking at me like, dude, what do we do? And I'm like, I don't know. You guys tell me what you do to sell this stuff. You guys are the salespeople, right? So, in terms of what I was doing before, that was probably the most hilarious thing was I thought I could actually do that. Just recruit people off the street and like, yeah, go sell websites, which, it did have a little bit of success, but the scalability and just the knowledge and the mentorship was not there, obviously. So that was one of the big things. I mean, I literally went door to door, bro. I literally went door to door on the south side of Indianapolis for like months at a time in the fucking freezing cold, literally knocking on doors. And, just with a business card, I had a suit and tie on. I didn't have a full suit. I had a collared shirt and a tie, and just literally telling people like literally, bro, like Chinese like grocery stores, like just the most random businesses in the world, um nail salons, like I just had crazy random stuff. And I actually landed a few clients that way. I was definitely hustling, but obviously in terms of scalability, like I work with landscapers, and a lot of them, that's like the first thing they tell me is like, yeah, we're going, we're doing door hangers, we're doing door knocking. And I just think back to like the emotions I was feeling when I was doing that stuff, and it's brutal, right? I mean, to walk into a store, there's a room full of people, and the business owner is just like, please get out, like what are you doing? You know what I mean? So a lot of that kind of stuff, bro, just nitty gritty. And it was definitely like a humbling experience to, go out and try that kind of stuff. Um, but, just some really, hitting the pavement, knocking on doors. I was sending out a bunch of emails. I was doing a bunch of audits. That was probably the thing I did the most, actually, was a bunch of website audits. I was saying, hey, I'll get your business a free website audit. And they would go a little bit, but I didn't really know exactly how to transition that into an actual formal sales process. I think that's the thing I love most about, what you guys have created, man, is just especially the sales aspect, because I mean, so many people look at this as like a quick, cash grab. But it's really like you have to know a lot about sales, psychology, getting somebody to buy into your agency, which probably doesn't have any reviews, really no proof of concept. It's like, how do I get somebody to fully trust me? And that's ultimately, once I hopped into the group, it's like, okay, I'm pretty confident with just reaching out to people as much as possible, but you guys really helped me find kind of that back end, you know what I mean, the other side of things.
Yeah, man, 100%. So, dude, you have an awesome story. So essentially, before you were working with us as a client at Agency Hypergrowth, you were kind of doing like most of what a lot of agencies are doing. They're sending out a bunch of messages, sending out a bunch of audits, and not really knowing what to do after that, and kind of just staying stuck for the most part.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And yeah, looking back, I mean, it's crazy, bro. Like, just I was hungry. I think anybody who starts this stuff, like they're trying to get out of a job. Anybody who starts their own agency, they're trying to get out of a job. They just dropped out of school. Like it's definitely, I think, something that attracts a lot of people who are hungry for more. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, I'm down to send out 1,000 emails a day, make 1,000 cold calls a day, and that's great. But it doesn't always mean you're going to get rewarded. You know what I mean? And I definitely found that pretty quickly, as I'm sure most people do. That's why a lot of people, look to mentors. They find pretty quickly, okay, there's a other side to this, that I'm not quite getting yet. So it's yeah, it's crazy, bro. You
Yeah,
guys need
dude.
help with that
So,
aspect.
yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate it. So, dude, talk to everybody about your decision to actually start working with us at Agency Hypergrowth. Like, what were you feeling? What happened? What was the moment where you just decided to make the move and take the jump?
Dude. So yeah, I gave Karan a little bit of back and forth. I remember he stayed on my case pretty hard because we kind of had that relationship already. I think he sent a few clients my way and vice versa. So we had like a pretty good relationship. And he really stayed on my case. Um, I remember he dropped the price on me, and I was like, oh wow, that's definitely. But at the same time, I was like, okay, people pay what 40 grand to go to school, to get to try to get a job nowadays that they probably can't even get. So I kind of looked at it that way, and I think once I started looking at it that way, man, like I didn't have the money at first. Like I was literally living at my parents' house, you know, just doing a whole lot of nothing really. Trying to make something shake with entrepreneurship. But um I think the moment I was like, okay, let's go, like I pretty much told Karan, man, like I just got to come up with the money. Like because I saw the results you guys were getting. I think that was probably the moment where I had made my mind up, like I'm gonna find a way to make this happen. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people think to themselves like long term, okay, if I make this investment on this and it doesn't work out, yada yada yada. Dude, I just made up my mind. I was like, I'm gonna make this work. I think I was at my pain threshold, bro. I know you talk about that some, with like especially us, excuse me, getting somebody to buy into what we're selling from an agency standpoint. Some people just aren't at their pain threshold yet, and sometimes you do have to get them there. It's like, hey, man, are you going to keep like doing this forever? And like something clearly has to change. And I had definitely reached my pain threshold. I was like, trying to do this for like I think a good like year and a half it was since I dropped out of school, just trying to figure something out, trying fitness out, all this other stuff. And I was finally at that point where I was like, okay, now it's time to do whatever it takes to make this stuff happen. To live the life, I say I actually want to have. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I hit my pain threshold. That's for sure. And some people aren't there yet, but you know, I think it definitely hits a lot of people one day, and that's when they're like, okay, you know, we got to take some action.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. I love what you said about a pain threshold because that is so, so, so important. Cool. So, dude, talk to us about what changed when you became a client. So, like before, you were doing a bunch of stuff that wasn't working. You got to this point where you just got fed up. You're like, screw it. People are paying 40 grand, a year for college. I might as well invest X amount into into this coaching program. And then you came in. What started to shift and change for you?
Man, I think the biggest thing was like right off the bat, Aaron Martinez, he sent you a book, like, not to reveal too much of your guys' process, but I could just tell. I was like, okay, these guys actually, definitely care. You guys actually genuinely want to see people win, which is hard to find nowadays, bro. Like there's so much ego now, so much like, if he wins, then I can't win as much. That was the biggest thing I realized. Like not to name drop anybody, but I had like talked with a few other, you know, uh, groups like yourself. Again, not to name any names, but like I told one guy, hey man, I'm actually going to try out, agency hypergrowth. I appreciate it. If this doesn't work out, I'll maybe hit you up. And he just like sent a message back. He was like, it's cool, man. I'm not doing coaching anyways, or something like that. And I've just never had that experience with you guys. Like I'm a difficult like client for you guys, bro. Like I definitely, at times I can be, I'm a hungry person. So like I do sometimes ask a lot. But you guys have always like stepped up to the plate and delivered. You know what I mean? One way or another. That's been the biggest thing I've recognized, is that the feedback you guys get, like you take it in such a positive way, and that's why I think this thing is so successful, is because you actually listen to the people in the group. I'd say that was the biggest thing I recognized, man, was that you guys actually care, actually listen to the clients, and actually like truly do want to see us like just kill this shit. Like clearly. Right. I probably wouldn't be, where I'm at this month, without your guys' help. So that's probably the biggest thing, man, is like, seeing that you guys care. And then obviously, I mean, right off the bat, again, not to spill too much of you guys is what's actually inside the course, inside the program, but you get so much information at once, from training videos to the group calls to the one-on-one calls. I mean, it was like, holy shit. Like I felt like I hit the jackpot. And it was just a matter of like, I told myself, I was like, dude, if I just do this stuff step by step, like I think you even say that in one of the first videos, like the only way you can fail at this shit is if you try to like put a little twist on it, or, try to go just a little bit off course. I was like, dude, you just got to trust these guys. And, like, don't get me wrong. I worked my ass off, like for sure. But it's like, dude, just do this stuff step by step. And it's a no brainer. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think right off the bat, I felt pretty confident that I had like that light bulb moment that, okay, this could actually really work out. You know what I mean? Definitely felt good about it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's an amazing thing. I remember when you first came in, like, when Karan was still working with us on the team, he was like, dude, watch out for this Cory guy. Like, he's hungry. And I was like, all right, let's see it.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
see it. And dude, I mean, you've lived up to what you said you would do. Like you've worked your butt off as a client. You've just taken feedback really well. You've leveraged the support. Um, you came to our live event. We all met up in person. We hung out. We had a good time. Like, dude, you've just been doing exactly what you need to be doing. And like, obviously, sit here and try and take a bunch of credit for your success. But realistically, dude, like, we showed you the path and we gave you the tools, but you used them. You went out and actually did the work. So, I mean, dude, props to you. It's all
I
on you,
appreciate that,
really.
bro. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%, man.
And the other
Sweet.
thing is, man, I mean, this shit is fun. Like this shit really is fucking fun. Like, um, the just the lifestyle we're able to live, man. Like you're in Mexico right now. Like at times, it's stressful, but like you said, man, just grateful that we came across this kind of and grateful that we're living in this time too, bro. Like the technology we have at our like, you're crazy if you don't take advantage of this stuff. That's kind of how I look at it. Sorry, what you're
Yeah,
gonna
dude.
say though? I never cut you off.
No, it's okay, man. I mean, you're spot on with that. 100%. Um, Sweet. So, dude, why don't you spill the beans a little bit on where you're at this month? Because you're having a fantastic month, and everyone's always like, "Okay, he joined the program, blah 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 blah." Well, how well is he doing, right? That everyone always wants to hear about results. So, drop it on them, man.
Excuse me, absolutely, bro. So I think right now we have, I would say in total about 10 clients. Um, One of them is definitely a bigger client. You know, they each time they come on, they pay up front. You know, so that definitely helps. $6,000 check comes in the mail, and we're like, okay, we're ready to rock. Um, all the rest, I'd say it's split about 50-50 between doing, you know, Facebook ads and doing Google ads and SEO. So definitely just a really healthy mix of, you know, it like everything is super exciting. You know, it's not like I'm just like, you know, checking 11 different Facebook accounts every day, which, you know, isn't bad, but it's really exciting stuff and actually getting like great results, bro. Like my check-in calls, and don't get me wrong, like there's definitely hiccups. You know, there's people who just don't have the right sales process in place. And you know, as you know as well as I do, is marketing is, you know, not everybody is going to get insane results. Like it's definitely depending on a lot of different factors. But you know, tons of our clients have gotten like really good results. I think that's been like the most rewarding part. Like, you know, bringing in, you know, close to 17 grand in cash collected. It's awesome. But I think the best part for me, man, has been like just the results we've gotten for people. Like people calling me up and saying, hey, dude, whatever you're doing, just keep it up. Like, please. You know, where the check in calls are super short. Like, yep, just got 3 jobs this week, don't really have any questions. Let's just keep doing it. I'm like, okay, say less. You know, so but yeah, man, working with pretty much exclusively landscapers. Like I know, you know, I was originally in the food service industry, but working with you, and you laid that that news on me that I needed to maybe switch my niche, and I was like, oh my god, my whole world is ruined. But then since I made that switch, bro, I literally looked at my Stripe account and I was like, that was when the shift happened, was when I went from, you know, that industry to, you know, I grew up in a one stoplight town. So I like almost all my buddies had like landscaping companies. I was like, duh, why didn't I do this in the first place? You know? Um, but just forming a lot of really strong, I think, you know, lifetime relationships, bro, with some of these clients we're getting really good results for. And I'd say that's the most gratifying part, bro, is just like actually making a difference, you know, and you know, in a, let's be honest, in a struggling economy right now, you know, still helping people to crush it. You know, I think that's been the best part, bro, over the past you know, I think it's been like 4 months since I've hopped into landscaping. That
Love it, dude.
yeah,
Love
it's
it.
great.
Yeah, dude, that's so beautiful, man, because everybody in the agency game is like, how do I get 10, 20, 30, 50 grand, 100 grand a month? How do I make all this cash? And it's like a lot of times, dude, people lose sight of why we're doing it in the first place and what people are actually paying us for, which is a result,
Yeah.
and actually change the lives of the business owners and the clients we're working with.
Yeah. And I would say honestly, bro, I mean, when I first got into this, I had that mindset. Like, I'll be honest, I just wanted to like get out of my parents' house and, you know, all that good stuff, get a new car, blah, blah, blah. But I think like once you do get some good results for somebody, you realize like that's way more important than the other stuff. And that's how you actually get there, is like I genuinely, dude, like I fucking care like about like I if something goes wrong with, you know, I know you're the same way. If like if I have a client that's struggling and we're not getting them the best results, like it eats away at me. And you know, while sometimes it is stressful, like I think ultimately those, like the person who cares the most and is the most meticulous, like they're gonna get the results for people. That client's going to tell, you know, 10 of his landscaper buddies, and then next thing you know, you're doing pretty well. You know what I mean? So I couldn't agree more, bro. Just focusing on, if you focus on just actually making people money, like dude, the rest of it will come for sure. It
Can't
has,
lose, bro.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
man.
has
You
to.
can't. Yeah,
That
100%.
sounds like a Gary Vee line, but it's fucking true. Just care the most, and you're probably going to be doing pretty well.
So true, man. Sweet. So, dude, what do you say to people who, are looking around through different programs, which is most people, to be fair, because there's a ton of stuff on the market. There's a lot of different coaching offers and programs and whatnot. So, dude, what do you say to the people who are like, I'm still not really sure about, agency hypergrowth, and I'm not really sure if I should, work with them and go with them, work with their team.
Dude, the biggest thing I would say is give it a shot, man. Like I said, man, I've yet to come across. I mean, I haven't. I purchased a few courses, like of course Ty Lopez. Like I think everybody who's in our group has a he's taken some money from about all of us. But just the fact, man, that you guys are so like hands on, I'd say that's the biggest thing. Like you guys have us do like weekly check-in calls. And at first I thought that was like such overkill. Like I do that with all my clients, but I think they can actually feel that I actually care. And you guys implement those same, like everything you guys have us do, you guys do the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Like the group calls, the one-on-one calls, like it's pretty hard to like slip through the cracks like in this group. You know what I mean? Like you can post stuff in the Facebook group, you can post stuff in pretty much whatever you can think of. You can get support. The only reason somebody isn't going to do good in this is if they're lazy, unconfident, maybe a little bit fearful of actually reaching out to people, hopping on the phone, stuff like that. But if you follow step by step and just really believe in yourself, it's pretty hard not to like at least make your money back, like at the very least that you invest into this. You know what I mean? Let alone end up where I am, uh, you know, doing pretty well here, about to do close to 17K in cash collected, which is insane to say, bro. Like I never would have imagined being in this spot. Like literally like a year and a half ago, I was scrubbing dishes at 4 a.m. in the back of a Domino's, bro. That's real shit.
A year ago, scrubbing dishes at the back of a freaking Domino's.
Yeah.
Fast forward a year later, you're about to collect 17 grand in a single month.
I'd say about a year and a half
A
to
year
be
and a half
like,
later, that's still crazy, bro.
yeah, it's crazy, man, to look back
That's so
like,
insane.
yeah. And that's why that's why you guys call it hyper growth. Like, dude, if you like really do just fucking focus, like, and don't get me wrong, like I've had to sacrifice a lot. It's definitely sacrifice, but if you actually focus on this shit and take this shit seriously, it's pretty hard to mess it up, in my opinion. That's what I would say, bro, to anybody who's thinking about it.
Beautiful, man. All right, dude. Last thing before we hop off, let's talk about money. Everybody's favorite topic. So, dude, one of the things that tends to probably hold people back from working with us more than anything, honestly, is usually 9 times out of 10 it's fear. It's fear around investing, right? They're scared to invest because a lot of people have invested in other coaching programs in the past. They're scared to invest into agency hypergrowth, right? We're not $1,000 course. We're not cheap, right? Like to work with us, there's an investment. So, dude, you probably 80-90% of our clients all started working with us by using money they didn't really have, credit, funding, loans, whatever. So like, what would you say as someone who was in that position? What would you say to somebody who's there now and is still reluctant and hesitant to want to make that financial commitment?
Dude, honestly, man, it's like it is scary, like spending that much money on anything. But a lot of people who are also scared to spend money on something like this, I've often found just in like talking to my own potential clients, it's like I always revert back to it's like, okay, is this like the most money you've ever spent? Usually it's not, right? Usually somebody has paid for college, maybe they've like for my clients, they've invested in, $60,000 worth of equipment. And it's like, okay, so that was a tool, right? That you bought for your business so you could grow your business, correct? And they're like, well, yeah. Okay, so what's the difference between that and this? You know what I mean? I think making those comparisons, like literally writing out on a piece of paper, journaling. I know you guys have gotten me into that more, like literally writing out your fear around investing into yourself. You know what I mean? Because I easily, bro, could have like went the other way and didn't pull the trigger on like, putting 6,000, whatever it was on a credit card or taking out a loan, which is what I did. You know what I mean? But fast forward, and keep in mind, bro, I was already in debt, right? Fast forward to, literally this time this year, I'm about to pay down all of my credit card debt literally before the end of this month, which is an amazing feeling. So that's the biggest thing I would say, man. I mean, in terms of like, it's other people's money at the end of the day, like leveraging that to give yourself a better future. Ultimately, it's going to be scary if you don't believe in yourself. Like I just kind of got in that, like we said, I got in that mode where I was like, dude, I have to make this happen. I didn't have really any other options. Like, again, working at Domino's, like working at call centers, like I was like, dude, I am ready to get out of this shit. And I was just like, if you really are in that mode of like, I'm going to make this work, when you pull the trigger, it's not that scary because you just say to yourself, hey man, if I do this step by step by step, it's not that big of a deal, right? That's why people feel good about college, is because, okay, if I just take my classes, if I take my exams, I'm going to get a job. To me, it's really no different with something like this. Absolutely. Which
Yeah,
we
dude.
know people
It's
get in debt.
crazy, man. So yeah,
No doubt about
it's
that.
crazy, man. So like a year and a half ago, scrubbing dishes at Domino's at 4 a.m,
No
bunch
cap.
of credit card debt. No cap, bro. Bunch of credit card debt. Year and a half later, you're about to collect 17K in a month, pay off all that debt, including the debt that you actually went into to join us, become a client. It's insane, bro.
Yeah.
It's
And
insane.
it's so often, man, I think about like, okay, what should I do different? And then I always have to check myself. It's like, dude, just keep doing what you're doing. Like you guys always tell me that too. It's like, dude, don't do anything. Like, should I sell it? Blah blah blah. No, just keep doing this. Keep getting people great results, and it's only up from here. You know what I mean? There's, as long as we stay consistent, keep listening to you guys, we'll be all right.
100%, man. Guys, for those of you watching live, does anybody have any questions for Cory? We'll hang out on here for another couple minutes or so. Who has questions? You guys get to pick Cory's brain.
Let's do it.
Dude, by the way, you gonna come to our Mexico event or what, bro?
I know, man. Well, we just adopted this dog, bro. So
Oh, that's right. That's right. Holy crap.
we're like weighing between like, do we travel a lot? Do we get a dog? And she talked me into a dog. So
I feel you, bro. Dude,
know how
it's a
that goes.
tough decision. Tough
Yeah.
decision. I feel that.
Eventually, we'll kennel him up though, and come join you guys. Are you in Tulum?
Yeah, we're in Tulum. We'll probably be here for at least a month and a half, if not more.
No shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
Not
So
bad.
we'll hang out on here for a bit. Yeah. Guys, any questions for Cory, by the way? Kind
Yeah.
of
Did
just
you show up in the chat, or did
let's
you just
see.
read them off?
I'm just looking at the comments live on Facebook.
Okay.
I'm not seeing any questions. So, dude, any last words you want to leave with the beautiful people watching this either live or who watch this on the replay?
Man, I would say, bro. Yeah. First of all, I'm super grateful to be in the group. Share this with everybody. Definitely feels like a family vibe, bro. We both know like entrepreneurship is one of the like loneliest things you can ever do. Like for that like year and a half where I was trying shit on my own, like it was a lot of just like in my room by myself, just like grinding. And I think being a part of this group, bro, like it definitely cuts down on that. Like, I'm in this in my, on my own. Like I have to lose all my friends. I can't talk, blah blah blah. Like that's the biggest thing, bro. But for everybody in the group, man, yeah, just super grateful to be a part of it. If you guys aren't, where you want to be at with the whole agency thing, definitely think about Elite if you've been in here for a while. Like, I mean, if you think about it, like made that initial investment, that got a lot of people's ass in gear probably. Like they made that initial investment. That was the biggest reason I hopped into Elite, bro. Like I could feel myself kind of like in terms of energy, like dipping down a little bit. But once I hopped into Elite, I was like, okay, now it's go time. Like it was like everything I was doing, you know, 10x in terms of energy, in terms of optimization, in terms of just, balls to the wall. So if you guys do need like that kind of reset, to me that's a perfect reset is hopping into Elite, doing something, kind of drastic like that like shocks your system into like, okay, now it's time to get going again. Even if you've been in the group for, I know a lot of people have been in there for, a year and a half or whatever it may be. Um, Man, that'd be a solid way to get back on track, get going again. You know what I mean?
100%, man.
About it.
Sweet.
We'd love to have one too. We need some more people in there.
We definitely do. So by the way, dude, this is in the free group. So guys, when Cory says Elite, it's okay. Yeah. So when Cory says Elite, he's referring to our actual higher tier program for agencies who have already gone through agency hypergrowth and are looking to scale that next level, go to 30, 40, 50, 100K a month. But yeah, dude, there's plenty of people who have been in this group, which is the free group for a while, who should probably just jump into agency hypergrowth, to be honest.
Dude, same concept, bro. It's gonna shock your system. You're gonna say, "Holy shit, I just made this decision," and you're not gonna have a choice. Like, it's time to put in the work.
Yes, sir. Dude, I think that's the perfect way to end off this interview. You're not gonna have a freaking choice, bro. You just need to put in fucking work. That's it. Get in the right environment, put in the work. You can't lose.
Cannot lose.
100%. Boom. Dude, thank you so much for jumping on this interview, man. I really appreciate it. You are going to inspire so many people. As this free group grows, more people will see this interview. Plenty of people will watch this and end up joining Agency Hypergrowth because of you, which means you are changing lives, dude, even if you don't realize it. So, brother, thank you for coming on. I can't wait to see you soon at either our next event, or we'll probably just host like a gathering where we just get clients to come out and hang. Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
Sweet. All right, bro. Guys, we're off. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Later, bro.